Hey guys, Silverlord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Masterverse Wal-Mart exclusive. Oh, Jajum. Vintage Collection Stratos. Brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel. And me, myself, and I, because I was able to buy this guy off the Wal-Mart app along with the Star Raider Lockdown Deluxe Class Transformers figure we looked at right before we did that little Mythic Legions marathon. So if you didn't check that review out, I'd highly suggest you do. It's a cool figure, albeit short a weapon to give him his hook arm. But we're not talking about Transformers, we're talking about Masters of the Universe. And today we are talking about a very colossal Stratos figure, because this guy is pretty darn big. For what reason? I don't know. I can only assume that he's probably using the Lords of Power Beastman body, and that's why he's so big, but he's so big! So that being said, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Stratos has to offer in terms of accessories. Starting off with a pair of grip hands, which I've already swapped off the figure. He comes packaged with these. I have the kind of flat palm hands on him now. And the reason I swapped these out is because he doesn't have any weapons. So he should just come with a pair of fists, or at the very least, a staff of Avion. I mean, if Man-at-Arms comes with a dagger, and I think Merman comes with a trident, he should come with a staff of Avion. What's up with that? But instead of that, we do get options, because when it comes to Mattel and Stratos figures, at least a lot of the more recent Stratos figures, they always give you the blue wings and the red harness. This guy comes packaged with the red wings and the blue harness, but you get the blue wings, and you also get the red harness if you want to swap them out. And if, for whatever reason, I'm completely colorblind, which there's a 99.98% chance that is probability, vice versa. So, take a closer look at Stratos. He is big. I don't know why, but he is pretty big. And unlike Man-at-Arms, not antiquated. His torso has the newer style articulation. It allows him to crunch back and forth and rotate. I know because I checked. I took this harness off and I did some finagling. So you can tilt it, you can turn it, you can do all that fun stuff. And, you know, I'm not the biggest articulation snob out there. But when you have a design that's like antiquated for no reason, and you change it, and then you go back to the antiquated version, that's kind of stupid, especially since the newer version is more durable. Because you don't got to worry about stressing that peg when the thing springs back into place. But at any rate, as far as his articulation goes, his head will rotate. You can look up and down. Okay, not the best for a flying character, but it is manageable. Shoulders can pop out. Back down, they can rotate forward and back. He's got a bicep swivel. He does have double elbow, but you're going to be hindered by these wings, which, unlike the new Eternia version, are actually pegged on the correct way in package. So that's nice. I know the new Eternia one, I think they were on the opposite arms. These are on the correct arms out of package. I did have to heat up the lower elbow, though. So there is that, but it works fine now. He does have a swivel hinge in the wrist. So that's good. Already went over the torso. He does have a waist twist. Hips that'll kick forward, back. It will kick out, back down. He does have the drop down hip. Much tighter on him, but he does have it. He's got a swivel at the thigh cut. He's got a double knee, which, much like my new Eternia one, the left one is a little looser than the right one. So I guess one thing about these Stratos figures is hips or legs is they aren't consistent. Then he does have the boot swivel with a hinge in the foot and a rocker joint with peg holes at the bottom of the feet. His weird smoothed out sneaker feet. Kind of wish he had toes, but whatever. I like this figure. I think he's a little bit better than Man-at-Arms just because his articulation's not antiquated. And you get a lot more in the box. I'm a bang for your buck kind of guy, and this is a bang for your buck kind of figure. And we don't get that a lot anymore from these companies. Why? Because they're cheap, 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 cheap. Get it? Because Stratos is a bird. But at any rate, I can stand his tall arse up here. I would say this is probably one of the better Stratos figures to come out in recent memory. You know, the Classics one wasn't even that much to write home about, but the New Eternia one and this one, arguably the best. I like them quite a bit. Despite the fact that this guy is so tall, I don't even know if he's like all on the screen right now. What the Sam heck. But at any rate, I think it is now time that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here we have good old Vintage Collection Stratos alongside his new Eternia counterpart, which aesthetically I like a lot more. I like the gas mask. I like the fact that he comes with a weapon. I like the fact that he has actual feet instead of weird sneaker feet. All around, I just think the New Eternia subline was so much cooler than what this Vintage Collection line has cracked up to be. But, you know, if you missed out on classics, this is the next best thing, I guess. Still more articulated than those. Even though good old Man-at-Arms here, we did take a look at yesterday. Check that review out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. Has the antiquated and outdated torso articulation. Very weird. Despite the fact that I want to say Faker has the newer torso articulation, as does Zodak and of course Stratos here. So why they went back to the articulation that's not very good, I don't know. But at the end of the day, who really gives a flip? Getting these two out of here. I will say my New Eternia Stratos does have a couple loose joints, but other than that, really cool figure. Our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith and the infamous Element Spawn, who is not towering over everyone today. Stratos has a slight edge on him. Like I said, this was a really tall figure for what it was, and definitely shows. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and much like the Man-at-Arms that came before him, if you missed out on the New Eternia version of good old Stratos, then the Vintage Collection version has got you covered. Granted, while it lacks those New Eternia elements and a handheld staff of Avion of any kind, he does have options as far as the wings and the jetpack go, which we don't see with Stratos. Usually, at least as of late, we've been getting blue wings with red jetpacks. And I'm sorry, but that's hashtag not my Stratos. My Stratos has red wings and a blue jetpack. And guess what? This guy has those in the package. So I didn't even have to do any work swapping parts out. That's nice. And for the low price of $21.99 on the Walmart app, you could do a lot worse than good old Stratos here. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.